Welcome back to Milk and Mummies, the podcast where we explore messy magic of motherhood and creativity with women doing it their own way. Today, I'm joined by a true West End wonder, Steph Parry, mum, actor, and all-round powerhouse. You might know her as Donna in Mamma Mia or from standout roles in 42nd Street, Wicked, and Billy Elliot. Now, she's no stranger to our screens either, with appearances in Malpractice, Unforgotten, and Coronation Street. Steph's career has taken her from understudy to leading lady, and now she's also navigating life as a mother. We're diving into how she juggles it all, what the industry looks like through a mother's eyes, and the unexpected lessons she's learned along the way. Let's get into it. Hi, Steph.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming in. I know you are fresh off your tour.
Like literally, so fresh. Right? I think it was like 3 days I've been home.
I'm kind of like, I'm happy you're back. That's great. But I'm sorry about the weather because you've come from sunnier climates, no?
Yes, we came from Abu Dhabi. Flew from Abu Dhabi on Monday. It's now Thursday. And it's,
Now we've got this grey. It's warm, but it's grey. But is it going to rain? And then it's windy, then it's sunny, which is why I feel like I'm dressed oddly. I've got jogging bottoms and a t-shirt and I'm hot. Anyway, it's all the things. But yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Is it good to be back?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's weird. And I think it's going to take a little while to transition.
Got you.
For sure.
Yeah.
But there is this weird kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, just to jump into the podcast, I guess, if we're starting at the very beginning, what drew you into the world of theatre?
I think I must have been about 10 years old when my parents got me and my brother a Christmas present, which was Joseph.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm from North Wales originally, so we kind of schlepped down on the train for 5 hours to go to watch this West End show. And I remember watching Lindsay Haitley as the narrator and thinking, what is this kind of this amazing job that exists? And I remember it so vividly of just being so enthralled by this spectacle and wanting to be a part of that, but never kind of having ever experienced that before. Because my parents are singers, so they're a duo. And so I was very much brought up in the kind of the pubs and clubs, following them around, doing the singing with them. And that was kind of always just going to be my trajectory, I think. But then I started to kind of see this other world of theatre and think, that might be something that I want to do.
Amazing. Did it feel weird at all? As you said, your parents, or their introduction to, I guess, entertainment was definitely through music. Did it feel like odd that actually the stage is what's kind of really calling you? I mean, it's a different kind of stage, music.
I think it was like a bigger platform, I think. I used to love kind of getting up and singing on the mic whenever I could with them. Or, I'd go where they'd set up the equipment and I'd go and then I'd, this an empty working man's club and there'd just be me singing on the microphone, and that was my stage. And so I think it was just seeing this it was something bigger, I guess, that drew me to it. But I don't think I ever really thought it could happen. And it was something I loved, like, through school and getting involved in all, like, the school productions. And I went to dance school as well. I wasn't very good. And did all the annual shows. But I don't know how much. I definitely battled with this is something I want to do, but I don't know if I can.
Okay, I hear you. Yeah.
Because it's unsafe. It's like, it's not, I was very much, got my GCSEs, got my A-levels, and was going down the academic route. And this was just something I did for fun. So there was this constant pull between, can I do this as a career and should I do something, safe?
Safe and serious. Yeah, that side. What was it like entering into the whole space of, like, I guess, auditioning or kind of getting into the whole actor's lane of living, I suppose? How was that?
So I went to drama school. So I went to Arts Ed in 2001. Went there for 3 years, and then I left without an agent. So I was one of the few people in my year who didn't get an agent. So I worked for myself for the first year.
Wow.
And I was like fine. And it was in the days of like PCR and the stage. And the PCR, if people don't know, is like a publication that would come out every week, and you just apply for whatever jobs. And I just went to work and then got a job straight out of drama school where I did a 3-month open air Shakespeare tour of As You Like It. Yeah. So having trained in musical theatre, I went straight into doing this Shakespeare play, and it was one of the most wonderful experiences.
Oh, that's brilliant. I'm glad.
Of this touring group of actors that we lived out of 2 cars, a van and a Luton van, is that what it is? And we just schlepped around the country, putting up our own stages and performing the shows, and I absolutely loved it.
Perfect. That's what I love to hear. Okay, that's phenomenal. And it's kind of like, sorry, I know we all have very different journeys into how we enter into our careers, whether it's on screen or stage, whatever else. But for me personally, it's always just satisfying to hear like the work ethic that's built and developed, or the grit, or the doing it because you love it, knowing where you want it to go, where you dream it goes, and it's also having that faith and that hope that it goes there. But in the meantime, you're being practical and tangible, and you're doing what you can touch and what you can hold, and you're creating what you want to do. So that's always really just satisfying to hear. And it's just like,
there's part of me that like I sometimes think I'm really grateful that happened, that I didn't get an agent, and I was forced to really like assess like how much do you want this, because I could have just been like, well, I didn't get an agent, I'm gonna go off and do something else. But I was so determined. I was like, and I do think those things do help, because they help you to realise just like, I guess, how much you want it.
Yeah, I agree, for sure. You've had such a wide-ranging career, from Wicked to Mamma Mia to screen roles like Malpractice. How would you describe your journey thus far? I guess it's, I know you've described, I guess, the start of things, but I guess interchanging between those spaces, what's that been like for you?
Yeah, so I think like it's weird. I feel like my career's kind of been in sections, because it started off like in the first, I think it was 7 years of my career. It was so bitty, and I did like fringe productions, and I did a cruise ship as a lead vocalist, and I did loads of student films, and I was just kind of accepting work here, there and everywhere, and just trying everything out. And then in 2012 I booked my first West End job, which was Billy Elliot, and then I kind of felt like things changed quite a bit, because then I went into my kind of West End era, where I hopped between different West End shows, and which I also loved, because with that there's a lifestyle, I think, that comes with that, because in that first 7 years everything was so sporadic. I was having to do every single promo job under the sun to pay my rent, and then go off and do a fringe production in the evening, and it was just absolutely mad. And then you book the West End job, and you've got this regular money coming in, and so then you can kind of have a bit of a social life. However, you can't go to anything because you're doing 8 shows a week. So so suddenly it's like, but you're booked for a year, so you suddenly know where you are for a year. And so then that kind of changed things up a little bit for me, and I became then I was able to kind of get on the property ladder and do all that, because I had that
stability, I suppose.
Stability, exactly. And so I hopped around in the West End for a few years, and then I did Mamma Mia on a cruise ship, and then I did Mamma Mia the Party. But actually, no. We've missed a big story, which was so I did all. So I was kind of in the ensemble of shows in the West End, and then I did Mamma Mia on the cruise ship. And then I don't know if you know this story about. I was in. So I finished Mamma Mia on a cruise ship, and then I was in 42nd Street as a standby. And there was an emergency at Mamma Mia, and I was sitting in my dressing room in 42nd Street, and I just got this phone call being like, can you come to Mamma Mia? And I ran down the road, and I took over the role of Donna at a moment's notice, and it just all went a bit crazy. And then from there, I then got given Dorothy Brock in 42nd Street, and it was like it was that moment that I think kind of transitioned me to being more in like the leading category. And I don't know if that hadn't happened, if things further. And then from there, I originated the role of Kate in Mamma Mia the Party. And so it's kind of like, I feel like there's just been this journey, I guess, of I think sometimes in this business, it's hard sometimes to get that progression as you would get in a normal
space, say,
but I feel like that has kind of happened for me. I haven't just, some people go straight out of drama school straight into a leading role, whereas it has just built, I guess. And then for a long time, I was very much like, I really want to do screen. It's something that I really want to do. And for years, I just wouldn't get seen for it. And then I made the decision when I was in Mamma Mia at the Party. I was like, this is pre-COVID. I was like, right, I'm done. I'm not doing musical theatre anymore. I need to be taken seriously as a screen actor.
Got you.
And then I booked my first screen role just before COVID.
Wow.
We filmed it literally, I think it was February 2020.
Because then everything shut down in March
and
almost,
so
right?
this was Unforgotten series 4. And they hadn't finished filming, so then they had to have the break for COVID and film the rest, but my scenes were done pre. And so that's kind of been my journey, I guess. And then post Mamma Mia, I went back to Mamma Mia the Party after COVID to finish the contract, and then from then it was just like, I'm just doing screen work. Until I got an email about asking me for my availability of Mamma Mia, and at this point I was pregnant and thought it would be a really good idea.
Before we make the switch, and the thing is, as I mentioned to you before, this is what everybody wants to know, and genuinely, anyone who's heard that I was having you as a guest on the show has just been like, oh my gosh, how did she do it? I just need to know how she did it. I don't think they care about anything else. It's just that bit. And anyone else who thinking of my friends who are who, when they entered into motherhood, it was a very different time where they had to stop everything and just concentrate on being a mum. They have just made comments like, if they had known this could have been done, or if they had seen you or someone like you who did what we're about to get into, did what you did, it would have changed their perspective on, like, I can do this can be done. So it's been hilarious seeing people's reactions, but it's been so amazing seeing the impacts that you've had on just people's mindsets on what can be done. Do you know what I mean? Which is phenomenal. But before we get into that, I just wanted to touch on, I know you just mentioned the difficulty of wanting to be seen on screen. But you were definitely very much in the MT space. How did you find that change? Because I know for some people, and sometimes there is that worry, if I kind of stay in the MT lane or kind of focus more on musical theatre, I won't ever get to go on screen, or how difficult that transition can be. So how was that for you, that period?
I think the problem with, if you're in a musical theatre contract, then you're out for a year.
Exactly.
And with filming blocks and things like that, it's so difficult to get the two. So you kind of have to go, right, I'm not going to accept a contract. I'm going to keep myself free in order to be available to do it. And I think that's one of the biggest things. I feel like musical theatre performers are being much more welcomed into the world of screen. I know so many of my musical theatre colleagues seeing them on screen like all the time. So I think it's just an availability thing, and I think it's scary because you just go, I've been offered this contract. Why would I turn it down?
Exactly. And that's a year or whatever it is. Exactly. That's the really scary bit. But it's that I just know a lot of people who are like, I would love to, but then that means I wouldn't be available. Or like, I'm doing it, but I saw my friends got for this role, all on screen, and they would have loved to have had that shot, but they haven't been able to. So it's definitely that weird, as you just described, you have to be available. So you've got to decide if you're going to be or not. But it's, I definitely watch people sort of struggle with that idea of having to make that commitment to whichever lane you're going to pick.
And it's scary because, it's that whole quote of like, jump and the net will appear. And so it's just holding on to that and being like, thankfully I have some proof in that when I have, gone, no, I'm not going to accept another contract. I'm going to keep myself free. Things have come in. Like malpractice the way that came about was crazy. It was just, I got asked, are you free for a read through tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, I can come in and be that actor. And then I just remember having so much fun in this read through. I was like, right, I'm here, I'm doing this. I'm just going to act these characters. And then I just got an offer the next week, just being like, we'd like to offer you this role that you read. And if I hadn't have been available, that wouldn't have happened. And so there are little like synchronicities, that sort of serendipitous moments that you just go, I have to trust that.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust you are where you need to be. What is for you won't miss you. And I know it sounds hella corny, hella cliche, but I cannot stress the truth of those statements. It really, really is that.
And the more that I love talking about this stuff because it reminds me too of that.
Yeah. Right. So you've mentioned you've had a little one. How are you?
How am I?
Yes.
Oh,
how are you doing, Mum?
That question. How are you? Do you know what's weird when I think about it? But like, I don't know I don't think many people have asked me that.
Really?
Yeah. How are you?
Shame.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it is now something that I feel like I need to ask that question more. Okay. Because to new mums. Because I think, it's always like, oh, when can I come and visit? And when, or those things.
Yeah.
Which I did, like, pre-motherhood. I'd be like, oh God, I need to go and visit them. I need to buy a present. Yeah. And all that kind of stuff. And actually, when somebody turns to you and just goes like, how are you doing? What do you need?
Yes.
Can I help in any way? Then you're like, actually, yes. Do you know what I need? A shower, or they're in saying that. I always was like, the amount of showers I've had with just Marlo just there, just there.
They're with you. That's your new one. My mum, how does she describe us? My mum used to call us, you're my handbag, you're my purse, you're with me every
you're just
single
with me.
Like that's
toilet, you're just there
everywhere. There is no separation. No. There is nothing in between us. You're there the whole time.
Yeah, but yeah. In answer to your question, I'm good. I'm good. I think I've got myself down to a place of like I'm good.
Okay,
but
good.
Oh wow,
yeah.
What a journey.
What a journey indeed. Like how did motherhood happen for you? What was the journey into motherhood?
So I was married in my 30s, and we don't need to talk about that. But so when I was with him for 8 years, and the having a child was very much kind of talked about a lot because I think you're in your 30s and it's what you do and you get married and you have children, and I was kind of very locked on to that way of life, but something in me was going, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. I think the thing that was in me was I'm not ready to have a child with this person. And actually when COVID happened, it was like, oh, okay, well, seems like divine timing. And so we tried, and I actually had 2 losses, which, were heartbreaking at the time. And so then I went through a divorce in 2021, and then I met my partner, Phil. We've been together, we actually met like late 2021. And we were both kind of, when we met, he was like, I don't know if I want children. And I was like, I don't know either, because I'd just been through like this, crazy heartbreak of going, right, let's do it, and it's not happening. And so we were both, when we met, kind of very like, we don't know where either of us are at. And also I was 39 when we met. Or just about to turn 39, and as was he. And so we were kind of like, I don't even know if I can. And also I don't know if I'm available, if I can carry, a child, or if I can get to full term. I don't know. But then we got to kind of, I think it was about, a couple of years into our relationship. And we would check in with each other and be like, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about it now? Because we were so undecided that we kind of hadn't said definite no. And then I think it was January 23. We had this like drunken conversation where I was like, I think I do. And I think it's because of you.
Amazing.
I want a child with you.
Amazing.
And he was still a bit like, oh. And then a couple of months later, he was like, okay. He's like, yeah, I think, I'm ready. Cool. And I think we should. And it became this thing of like, well, let's just have a go. Because we both we want a child with each other. Yeah. But also, we also like our life. So we're going to kind of put it out to what is meant to be. Okay. If it doesn't work and we have to go down the IVF route, then, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And because also at this point, you know, I think I was 41 and he's nearly 42, and we're just kind of like, I don't even know if we can. So we're like, let's just see. Literally a month later, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh, okay. And it was because we honestly were just like, it's going to take time. Of course, we're so old. Like we've
got a while to plan. Figure it out. See how it goes. Love
and it was just like I had one period and then bam.
Hello.
Yeah. And it was like, okay. And I remember telling him and him being like, what?
So I love those stories so much. Just because, again, the things that you hear, especially when you're older or your biological clock, blah, blah. And I think how much work how much work goes into don't fall pregnant for whatever reason, whether you're too young or because of your career or blah, blah, whatever. There really is this idea that, okay, I've never tried it before, or whatever your circumstance has been into this period where you are going to go for it. It's going to take time. Everyone always says it's going to take time. It does for some people. It really does. And then for some people, it's just, okay, sneeze and it's here.
Yeah. Crazy.
So welcome you.
Yeah. And I think because I'd not got past, I think they were both very early losses, and I'd not got past the 7 weeks. 7 weeks became this number in my head that I was like, well, you know, I've got to get to 7 weeks. I'm not going to get, you know, let's not get excited. It was all very like, let's see. And then, you know, kind of got to 7 weeks and, you know, and it was like, oh, okay, like this is actually happening. And I remember kind of going for that first scan at 12 weeks and being so petrified. Oh, man. You know, because I'd never got to that point. Yeah. I think I'd had an early scan previously, but I'd never got to that point, and it was so like, they're there. Like, they're actually there. And it's going okay. And oh, wow. And so I think that was when I allowed myself to believe that it's happening.
No, fair enough. I think
but still also a little bit like keeping chill.
Take time. Yeah, I hear you. So little one is doing what it's doing. That's wonderful. When did this availability check come in for this world tour?
It was in early August. So I don't think I'd hit 12 weeks when I got I had. No, I had. So I'd had my 12-week scan. And I was at the cinema and I just got this like ping from my agent. Obviously my phone was on silent, but
I'm glad that you said that.
But it's in like my phone lit up. I was in like just the cinema by myself, my phone lit up, and I was just like, and of course, you know, you get something from your agent, you're like, you can't help but check in the cinema. So I was like, and it literally just said, it was just a screenshot of an email from Mamma Mia checking my availability for the international tour, with my agent writing, because I'd only just told him, because I think I'd had the 12 weeks, so I had the 12 week scan, because then I'd told my agent. And he'd written, what terrible timing. As in like, oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
And then I responded with, when is it? He wrote, March. And I went, when in March? And he was like, I don't know, the end of March. And I was like, don't do anything. I'm in the cinema. I'll call you like afterwards. And so I think I phoned him and he didn't answer he was busy. It was like, this is literally like end of day Friday. Yeah. And so I called Phil, my other half, and I just said, look, you know, what do we think about this? And he was just like, well, just get some more information and we'll go for it. And I called my agent and he was just like, okay, right, okay, I won't say anything then, I'll just just go back to them and say, yes, you're interested.
She's interested. That's all. Just
literally. Yeah, and I think in the end, I think I didn't go into the room until end of September. So then I was like, bumps growing. Hello. But I was like, I can't. Whether or not it was the right thing to do, I was like, I can't disclose this information of that I have to just go in and and I think as well because it was so close to like the 12-week scan and I was so just like, well, you just and things had happened before. I was like, we just don't know what happens and also it's fine.
Yeah,
it's I can do this with the baby. It's fine. And anyway, so I went in the room and I was in the final auditions, and then the next day they offered it to me, and my agent was like, okay, thank you. We do have something to tell you though, that we do, like, as in, if this offer will need to be that she brings her family with her. Okay. I think they said something along the lines of, how old's the baby? And he was like, it's not been born yet.
Still in the oven. It's little one's coming on. Yeah.
And I mean, they responded so positively. And the really good thing about this tour of Mamma Mia is they've had 2 children on it before.
Okay.
They had a stage manager who had a baby that toured with them. And they had the resident director who took her child from, I think she was 10 months.
Okay, all right.
Up until 3.
All right.
And they did a few international venues, did a lot of UK.
Nice.
But so they've had a child with them on tour.
Yeah, nice.
And that was the reason, I think. So Nikki Davis-Jones, who was the resident previously on the tour, I saw her do it. And so therefore that's what made me believe that I could do it. So I was like, well, if she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And so their response was just like, okay, yeah. And I think their response was something along the lines of, great, a baby brings a different dynamic to the tour. Wow. Which it totally does. And so they responded really positively. And then, and then it was just a case of then me kind of knowing that was going to happen.
Yeah. Once little one was here. Amazing.
3 weeks after giving birth, I was going to go into rehearsals. And I remember, telling the midwives and, they'd be like, so are you going to do NCT? Are you going to do any of these things? We're like, no, because we're going to China. Yeah. They're like, what? And they're like, you can't do that. And I'm like,
okay.
Oh, but I am. And it's happening. And there was a lot of my friends, who'd had children in the industry that were just like, you're doing what?
Okay.
And of which I now understand. At the time, I was just like, what do you mean? It's fine. But now I'm like,
I get it.
Oh, I get it.
Because I love how you said that there was, speaking about this you definitely mentioned, you definitely had a naivety to this.
Absolutely.
And you're so glad that you did, because if you didn't have that, who knows if you would have followed through, right, or gone with it.
I've said this.
That was great. And I love that was your energy. I love that was your focus. You'd seen it already happen with this particular production. So you knew it could be done.
Yeah.
It's just a case of you're going to be the one doing it this time.
Yeah.
But how did you manage that space of, because I also want to touch on like the pregnancy journey, how that was for you into birth and things like that. But how did you manage that space where already before you'd even started rehearsals, I guess, people were already telling you, well, you can't do that. Or no, what do you mean? Like, how was that from the medical staff to, I guess, personal spaces as well?
I think one of the, something I'm motivated by more than anything is somebody telling me I can't do something.
Yeah, same. Love it.
Yeah. So
I dare you.
As hard as it was, having the naysayers tell me that it couldn't be done, it was probably something that made me be like, well, just watch me, I'm going to do it.
Nice.
And I get so like determined to do things. Sometimes to my detriment.
Okay.
Sometimes, I probably could have asked for more help. I probably could have, maybe asked for a bit more time. But I was so determined to walk into that first day of rehearsals, and for me to be like, I'm fine and I can do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, and there was some midwives that were just like, I think this is, incredible that you're doing this. But there was a lot of them that, it was so different to, because there was even things like we had to, so I remember like he was born and one of the first things we were just like, we have to take his photo for the passport because we had to get him registered for the birth, his passport, back to us, and then we had to get his Chinese visa, all before he was 8 weeks old.
Wow.
So there was a lot of like admin and things like that that needed to be done, which when you're dealing with kind of, never mind like the rehearsal period, when you're dealing with new motherhood, I did not know the impact of what that would do to me. I think those hormones, like
the fog.
I've never cried so much in my life. I'd come home from rehearsals in those first few weeks, and I'd be sobbing.
Why? Just from the exhaustion, or just
I don't even know,
missing baby, or
I don't even know. Just this. I think it's just those hormones just ruined me. Like I was, and it could be the fact as well that I hadn't been able to, you know, I'm in a rehearsal period, and again, to my detriment, I feel like I need to be strong and be here and do my job. So then when you then get home, it's like suddenly it's like I can unleash everything that is inside. And you know, I've spoken about this with a couple of my cast mates, and they were like, oh my God, you know, I never even realised that you had any of those kind of thoughts. You were just so like strong. And I'm like, I think it's you know, the whole Doctor Theatre thing, it's all of that of you just have to get on with it. And which is what it was my own doing, but it was like I just had to be there and get the job done.
I hear you. I guess not have this idea of motherhood, especially newly into it, just be a hindrance in any which way. If that makes sense. Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. Were you breastfeeding at the time or from the bed?
So I was pumping.
Okay, yeah. Woo, that's also fun.
Pumping around everything. Like I think about my pumping journey. Oh my gosh. Because so Marlo latched on straight away. And then after a couple of days, so I had quite a traumatic experience because I was in hospital for a week.
Okay.
And my milk was coming in so slowly, and so he was so hungry. And then something then happened then where he just refused to latch on, and I think it's because he associated that this didn't actually feed him. And then there became this thing in my head of like, well, he needs to take a bottle anyway because I'm not going to be there. But I was like determined to keep my breast milk going because we were going to China, and I was like, I've got no idea like where I'm going to get formula from and all that kind of stuff. So that my breast milk needs to be there. So I'd just be like pumping on the train, pumping every break that we had, and walking. I'm just like, wandering around with my little cool bag, just this sad little cool bag of me and my breast milk. Oh God! Oh, and it was and then you just be on this, you know, packed train with the clicking.
Yeah. Oh my God! What did you use? I had an LV.
I had an LV. I just had two L in the end. I had one LV in the end. I was like, I have to buy another one because just one isn't enough. I need the two going at the same time. And then it was like pumping around the show. Like I'd be there at the half, like with my breast pumps in, and then finish the show and put my pumps in after the show. And I think I got to about 4 months.
Okay.
And I had this, I was in a hotel room in China, and I poured the breast milk into the bottle without putting the rubber bit at the bottom. And I just poured it in, and it just went through the holes.
There is nothing more heartbreaking than fucking up your breast milk somehow. Oh my gosh. And I was in bits, and and that was the beginning of the end for me. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Okay.
I can't do the show and all this pumping and everything. And then in the end, we were just like, and I'm done. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, so the whole, all my milk was so, and as he got bigger, but I think because I was only able to pump, it just wasn't, I wasn't producing enough. And but then finding the formula in China was a whole...
Was it difficult to do?
Oh my God. It was such trying to find like the supermarket. So you had to be a specific supermarket.
Okay.
That was like it was like a bit of an international supermarket.
Okay, yeah.
But finding where they were with
where you may be based, I guess.
Yeah.
And then trying to get to there and
so sourcing and nappies as well.
Yeah, okay.
Because I believe that it's customary in China to not leave the house with your baby before they're 6 months old.
Okay, I see. All right.
So we were quite weird that we were out and about with this little 8-week-old baby, and you kind of notice, you're like, God, they really are.
Babies around, yeah.
But yeah, that was a journey itself. The feeding journey of China.
My goodness, how was before I guess we touched into all things tour, I suppose. How was you've now kind of gone into rehearsals after about 3 weeks? How are you doing physically?
Physically, I was all right.
Okay, cool. All right, that was a bit checking. Just adjusting to the whole postpartum.
And I think because that was my sole focus.
Okay.
So I was like, I trained so hard throughout pregnancy. I'm like, I love the gym anyway.
Yeah.
And I was literally lifting weights on the morning that I went to hospital that afternoon.
Wow.
And because I was very much like, I need to keep fit, and because I'm describing it as like, it's going to be the workout of my life. I was so naive. and then I think so physically, like I was fine doing the rehearsals.
Okay.
Like I was really okay because I had a natural birth. I think if I'd have had a cesarean, I think that would have been a very different story.
Recovery, yeah.
And that was another thing. I was so adamant that I didn't want to have a cesarean because I wouldn't be fit. I wouldn't be able to do rehearsals through. It was all this stuff. And so yeah, physically I was fine. But I do remember doing a workout, like it's probably about 4 weeks post birth, and feeling like how is my body, like how has my strength just gone in, like pre-baby I could lift this weight, like literally the day of the birth I could lift that weight. Now it feels really hard, like and it's just this event of giving birth
that's totally changed.
you change everything. And I just remember being so like fascinated by how can just this one event, but I suppose it's, what your body goes through, what, your nervous system goes through. I really took for granted, I think, the recovery that is needed. And it's why, I don't know if you know this, it's why that I had to get signed off about 6 months into the job.
Okay.
And I think it is because I just didn't give myself the time to recover, and I just carried on, and then I broke.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Horrendous. Like, it was devastating, I think, because basically it was postpartum anxiety. And everything, my nervous system, everything was up. I was up here.
Yeah.
It was, and that's the only way I can kind of describe it, is it was like I was so wired, and my voice wasn't working properly. I was on stage. I remember being in Winner Takes It All and singing, but going table, chair, taverna, door, floor, like trying to just ground myself because I was just losing my shit, basically.
Okay, I see.
And then the company, the general manager, like had a meeting with me, and she was just like, I would like to sign you off. Okay. And they were so supportive and so wonderful with me.
That's brilliant.
And flew me home and sorted me out, like vocal rehab. And I'd started therapy, like I recognised that I needed to get my therapy going again when I was in China, and it took me a little while, but I eventually kind of got back into it. And then after, so in the end, it was initially meant to be like a couple of weeks, but it got extended for one reason or another, and I felt very much like I'm ready to go back. Okay. But logistically, I ended up having 5 weeks off. Okay. And then it was like, when I came back, it was like, oh, I'm back. And it feels like
there was that difference. You felt that. Nice. Okay.
I feel like China was very much like I was getting through it and I was just powering through. And then we had this like 3 weeks off. We did China, Hong Kong, Taiwan. And we had 3 weeks off, and then we did Dublin. And I literally got home for the first week of that 3 weeks off, and I got sick. Okay. And I was sick. Like I had COVID, and then I went to Dublin, and I still wasn't right. Okay. And then I had another week off, and I was like, and I feel like I got better then. And then we went to Monaco, and then that was when my anxiety started really kicking in. Okay. And then I got sick again, and it was just like my body was just going enough. Yeah, you break. And it was kind of like there was this. I don't know if like the sickness brought about the anxiety, or if it was just this. The other way around. Yeah. Whatever. I'm really glad it happened. Because I came back so much stronger. And also because I remember like having conversations with Phil and being like, I can't go back. I can't do it. I can't do it. I literally can't set foot back on that stage. And I remember then going, if I don't set foot back on that stage, I will never walk back on stage again. Wow. That will be it. Wow. Because it will just be like I'll associate all of this with that. Wow. And so it was like when I then went back, it was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's all good.
That's incredible to have had that realization, to know that, and to even kind of have that sense that this is a crossroads almost for you. If I, as you said, if I don't go back, I will never go back.
Yeah, I just know of people that have had anxiety, have walked away from a job, and then they've just not done it anymore. Yeah. And I've seen that with a few people that I just go, that will be me. And so I have to do this. I have to get myself well, and I have to get back out there.
That's good. And no, it's great that you took the time for you, because also it's not just for you, it's for little one, it's for your partner as well. So it's this you're interlinked in so many things, you know, and that's not even me touching like whatever the job is and all that kinds of stuff. So yeah, that's great that you did. Oh my goodness. I guess stepping away from the tour and things itself, but how did becoming a mum shift your relationship with performing and the industry, if it did?
I suppose like everything just becomes so much less important. I think, you know, I've been in this industry for over 20 years, and I think I am sometimes so engrossed by this business and how I need to do this perfect tape, and I need to, you know, it needs to be all encompassing. And you know, all of the stuff that I had in my training of like Dr. Theatre, you carry on regardless, and all of that stuff, and then a little one comes in and they are completely helpless, and they have, you know, me and Phil, Marlo, my little one, he has me and Phil to do everything for him because he can't do it himself, and all of this bullshit just kind of frisses away because you're like, it's not real and it's not important. What's important is this little guy, and you know, I could have anything going on with my job or the industry, and if something happens to him, it's gone. Yeah, because he's the important one. And he's been, you know, I am in no disillusion that I could not have done what I've done in the last 15 months without Phil. Yeah. He is the reason why I have been able to do that. And so, and I'm really grateful that I do have a very supportive partner who kind of allows me to you know, supports me.
And gives space for you to be able to pursue your things as freely and as much as you want to as well, you know? Yeah.
But I think it's like, I have to be choosy with what I do. Whereas I think before I might have been a little bit more like, yeah, I'll do that. And yeah, I'll do that. And yeah, no worries, I'll do that. But I suppose it's changed my thinking in that I can't just be like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. You do that. Because then suddenly there's one of the partners in the relationship is suddenly having to, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take Marlo for you because you're doing that random thing. So that you can't say no to.
Yeah.
So it's, yes, I suppose I have to be a bit more selective and yeah. So I suppose it makes you, I remember hearing Daniel Edwards talk on a podcast a little while ago, and he talked about one of his favourite actors is I think she's a friend of his, but he was like, what I love about her, she just comes into a casting, she does the job, and she gets out of there because she's got 2 kids to pick up from school. And there's none of this like faffing around or this insecurity, I guess, that I think I feel like I saw the thing with Amanda Seyfried yesterday talking about actors are insecure, she's insecure, but we can sometimes bring that into meetings and because we then end up going anything else you want from me, I'm just going to leave now. Whereas I suppose if you've always got one I've got to go pick the kids up from school, so I haven't got time for that, so thank you very much, goodbye. And I remember hearing him like just listening to that podcast, but now I kind of get it more because I'm like, oh yeah, you haven't got the time. I ain't got time.
Listen, I come in, I do what I need to do. This is why I offer you. Fantastic. You want it? Don't want it? Amazing. Do you mean like it's true?
Because there's something more important at home, which, and I don't. It's weird because I don't want to, put down any of the work like at all. But I suppose. But when there's a little person, I can't help now but be like, he's just, I've got to look after him, because if I don't look after him, like what's going to,
who is how is, or well, do you mean you're his universe? And that will shift and change, and as we all know, etc. But right now you are his universe, so you're going to be the best universe you can be, so that it makes perfect sense, I think. And it's great that there are people who are better understanding that as well. So with what you're saying, or at least how I've received what you said, I don't think you're saying anything negative or putting anything down. It's just you understand what your priorities have shifted. That's what that it is. And I think people get that and they respect that, and that's absolutely fine. It doesn't mean that you're not passionate or dedicated to what you're doing presently, but once you finish that task or finish that job, there's motherhood, which never stops. It doesn't cease, and it's forever running while you're doing all the things. So it's like your time looks different now. And I think there's something really beautiful about that as well. And I don't know about you, but there's that when you're in between jobs and you find yourself looking at your phone or waiting for that self-tape to come in or waiting for that phone call from your agent or whatever. And motherhood is a wonderful distraction, because sometimes I'll go, I don't even know where my phone is. I've lost my phone in my home so many times. I don't even know what to say to you. And now Zena refers to my phone as her phone, and she just loves to take pictures. My photo album is a series of blurred images, fingers, random stuff. She takes some really creative artistic shots sometimes, and sometimes like, no, I'm on the toilet, please. I don't need that on my phone. It's whatever. So it's again, it just highlights what's important to you. You don't need those devices or those things as much as you thought you did. And I've lost a watch. I've just lost all the things. So I'm like, where is me? No. I hear what you're saying completely. Was there anything about motherhood that totally surprised you, that nobody warned you about?
Ooh.
I feel like everything. Potentially everything. Maybe not.
I was going to say something really like, I suppose it's lots of mums listening to this.
Yes, it is.
The blood.
Okay. Got it.
I was not prepared. fuck? Nobody tells you how long you bleed for.
Got it. So I had so many different blood things, whether it was you or you had a little boy, so you wouldn't have had, I had a little girl and I didn't, my best friend told me this and no one told me, that they kind of have an equivalent of like their first period.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, but they've just been born.
Yeah.
What do you mean? But it's just this, I'm going to lose all the right terminology, but I guess it's just a little signal that, everything's working as it is. And there's somebody had mentioned something, again, not saying any of the names, but there's one point with carrying a little girl where you are carrying yourself, your baby, and they're also carrying all the eggs that they're ever going to have all at the same time. And I'm like, motherhood is incredible. Motherhood is incredible. But I had no idea I was going to bleed as much as I did. And for how long?
For how long? I think I was still bleeding when I was going to rehearsals.
That's why, and I should have actually pulled at this a bit more. That's why I was asking about your recovery to understand what that was like. Yeah. Freaking intense.
Yeah.
Freaking
I remember
painful.
being like I am here in rehearsals and I am still bleeding from childbirth.
Still going on.
Yeah.
How long does it last for?
About a month, I think it was for me.
I've completely lost track. It felt like it was just never ending. And every time baby was feeding, it's still, you're all connected, that's grand, but you're still getting contractual kind of pains. And that's just helping everything kind of just get out of you, seep out of you, come down.
Those pains. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
It's so funny because I know there's always, I tend to have conversations of why didn't they tell us about this? Why didn't they tell us about that? It's because we forget. That's what that was.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, they didn't tell us about it because then we maybe would have been a bit more scared.
Maybe. You played such bold, iconic women on stage. Did any of those roles influence how you show up in real life and especially now as a mum?
Ooh. I don't know. Sometimes I think like some of these women that I get to play, I'm like, God, I wish I was more like them.
Okay.
I wish I hadn't responded to things in that way because I'm such a people pleaser. And I get to play these women that aren't. And I think that's probably why I like playing those kind of roles.
Yeah.
Because you get to be that strong, person. I think without offending somebody.
But I mean, with everything that you've been through as a motherhood, from the whole journey of motherhood, then having your little one here, has that changed your idea of how strong you are? What strength looks like? It must have.
I think, I mean, it has to.
I would say, Steph, you cannot tell me no. You've just done a whole international tour.
I do
with
have
a baby.
to. Yeah. I think when you're in it, you're just in it. You're just doing it.
Yeah.
You're just, and I think one of the hardest things about doing international touring with a baby is the schedule.
Of course.
Baby has their own schedule.
110%.
International tour has its own schedule. You have to be there for this bus and this flight and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so the amount of like, right, he's due his nap at this time. So how do we do this? How do we like manipulate this nap in order to make it work? And his feeding time is when we would be on the coach and all of these things.
Of course, because if you miss one of those things as well, it can really throw baby off and whatever routine that you've actually kind of got together for it.
Yeah. So all those logistics, the logistics of touring and logistics of a child they were interesting to navigate for sure. And I think something I found really difficult was, I call it the two hats.
Got it.
So like you go to work and you've got your work hat on and you go to your home and you've got your mum hat on. I had a lot of time where I had the two hats on. So because like we're all traveling as a group, getting a plane and then, getting a coach or whatever as part of a touring company. But I've also got baby to deal with, but I'm also that person that wants to be a good company member. So I'm like, I can't be late and I can't, we've got to get the coach. The coach is waiting for us, but he needs to be changed. I've got to, sorry everybody, I've got to go and change it, so things like that kind of, as much as everybody was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
That was my dealing with that. And I suppose there is that part of me that's like, God, I wish I was like stronger and was more like, I'm just going to do this. And I suppose there is, as we kind of got along, I did get a bit more kind of like, this has to be done. I'm sorry, we're coming.
Yeah. And also you're new into this. You're also finding your voice in that space as well, right?
Yeah.
And understanding what your boundaries are and what you're going to say yes to or no to, and what, this is the deal. Everybody knows that there's a little one. And so if it means I've got to do X, Y, and Z, I've got to. And I know that they understand, or it doesn't impact them, or if there's a problem, we're gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
That too, you know. So I know there's a sense of trying to find your comfortability with those things as well.
Yeah,
that for sure.
But he was so like loved by everybody.
That's amazing. That's great. That helps like tremendously, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was like the amount of people would be like, come over to talk to us, and I'm like, they don't want to talk to me. They just want to see the baby. And that's fine. But yeah, there was a lot of them like kind of, you know, took him for like, you know, for an hour while me and Phil got to go to the gym or something like that. Yeah. And so that part of it was pretty epic, and I think he'll miss that. He'll miss being surrounded by this extended family of, you know, 60 people or whatever it was.
How I mean, obviously new mum, so it's all new for you too, but how was it seeing him in that space and just...
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Like, so Marla took his first steps in a dressing room in Paris.
What a story. I love
Sounds
it.
so glamorous,
I love it. Just as fantastic. I love it. So I absolutely adore it. Zita's first steps were in Thailand because her dad was on the gig.
Amazing.
So I love this. I just love that our kids are able to have those types of experiences. Or just amazing. What a story for him when he gets older to say, yeah, my mum took me on tour.
Yeah, but he would come like to the theatre on a Saturday to do, because again the head of wardrobe, he made sure we had a washing slot every Saturday.
Nice.
So the boys would come in and do the washing, and then Marla would come to warm up with me, and so we'd get passed around during warm up, and just seeing him, you know, wandering around with everybody, and then he's, you know, he'd be dancing. This was his little thing. That means dancing, and he just smiling away and so sociable with this, you know, massive group of adults. I'd love to see it. And on my last day, they were in the side of the audience watching the finale, and he's just like, and that's something really special, I think, of the whole experience.
I think so too. Have you ever felt the pressure to bounce back to, I don't know, maintain certain expectations since becoming a mum in the industry?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't say that it was necessarily the industry putting pressure on me. I'd say it was me putting my beliefs putting the pressure on me.
Got you.
Nobody ever put the pressure on me to lose the baby weight when it came to costumes or anything. It was very much the costumes were measured on me at 20 weeks pregnant, because it was like, this is probably where you'll be post-birth.
Okay. Yeah.
So as soon as I told them I was pregnant, like, let's get you in for costume fitting, because I think this is probably, you know, at that time, at 8 weeks, you'd probably be around this size.
Yeah.
And they slowly just brought the costumes in, and nobody ever put any pressure on me. I put pressure on me. You know, I was like, I need to lose, which when you're on tour is like near impossible when you're eating this, you know, a 3-course meal for breakfast, and
because you can, and it's there,
and then trying to, you know, find food, because I'm so fussy, in different parts of the world. You know, I was never going to get to where my expectations wanted me to get to. So I think I do need to kind of clarify that nobody's ever made me feel that way other than myself. But I think that comes from, you know, this whole bounce back culture that exists of you know, having the baby, and you just need to get back to it. Get back to it. And you're like, what is get back to it? Because that doesn't exist anymore.
At all.
Everything's changed.
At all. And it's so amazing. Like, I love this podcast because it just highlights and shares so many truths, so many challenges, so many things that people, like lots of mums are going through, lots of parents are going through, and people don't really talk about it in a wider space. So I love that. And I love that it's challenging this idea of bouncing back and whatever else. Everybody's different. Your genes are different. How you deal with shocks to your body, your system are very different. So it's like there needs to be space for all of those things. And whatever being healthy looks like for you, make sure you get back to that journey, or get to that journey. You're not even getting back, because you're forever changed. Yeah. You are. Yeah. So whatever the new is, let's just get you to your happy, comfortable version of your new. And that's not even me trying to be like, not douchey, but that's the word I'm using. Like, oh my God, I just do whatever. Like, I'm not even trying to say that. Just bouncing back is just, it's a myth.
Yeah.
This is a brand new day. It's a brand new
you.
day.
Yeah.
So let's just understand that and just keep moving with that, essentially. Whee. When it comes to, I guess, your new day, your new time, how are you finding navigating auditions, rehearsals, while parenting? What's that like for you now?
I mean, it's all very new because it's literally been 3 days.
Right, exactly.
I'm trying. I suppose there's a bit of mum guilt where I'm like, right, I've got to take you to every single club that exists because I've not been able to do that for the first,
of course,
16 months of your life.
Yeah,
but also really wanting to do that, really wanting to
have those experiences.
Yeah, me selfishly have those experiences because I haven't had them. I remember feeling like so jealous of like when we'd come home for that 5 weeks I had off.
Yeah,
I'd see like other mums that were on like maternity leave, and I was like, I just I could just want to go for coffee with a load of other mums. I don't know any other mums. But at the same time being like it isn't just going for coffee.
Yeah, no, I hear
There's
you.
a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So I want to enjoy time with him because he is a child that loves being entertained.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I've created a monster
Ta-da!
with surrounding him with entertainers for the last 16, those first 16 months of his life. So he loves like doing things.
Nice.
And so, I suppose I've had a few tapes and I've had to we've tried to kind of create a new way of doing it because, in the past a tape would come in and you'd be like, okay, I'll do that on Wednesday afternoon.
Because you can.
Because I can.
Time,
and, maybe I'll do it on Thursday morning or whatever. And then we were home for a week before we went to Abu Dhabi and I had a couple of tapes to do.
Okay.
And so it was like, right, I need to structure this. And so it was very much like once Marlo went to bed, doing it in the evening, which I've never done self-tapes in the evening. I've always done daytime self-tapes.
Right, exactly.
Using daylight. And now it's like,
I know.
I ain't got daylight no more. So it's all, using the lighting and navigating that, which is fine. It's just, it's the new normal.
Yeah, that.
And again, thankfully, I have a partner whose work is very, can be done anywhere. So we will just navigate as and when what we've got to do. But I actually go, so what I would do, what I was doing pre-Mamma Mia in between screen jobs was I will go onto a cruise ship and do guest entertainer work.
Okay.
So I've got my first guest ent contract in August.
Okay.
So I will go away for a week.
Okay. Will
and so-
Marlo come with you? Or?
No.
Okay, all right.
So that's going to be
a
new
first.
as well. Yeah. So I will be away. Phil will kind of be with him, and so I suppose what I'm trying to do a bit more is make sure that I'm present when I'm present, kind of thing, and be. I'll take him to this club, and I'll do this, and I'll spend some time with him while Phil works, and then he'll have him like for the week, and so it's navigating all that really, and which is at the moment just thoughts and ideas because I've not actually lived it yet.
Well, it's going to be exciting. I'll tell you that. Just sorry, I already know you're going to be fine. I was trying to think if there's even a nugget of advice. I was like, I guess just schedule, which you already do and know. So that's it. I knew that's it. You'll be fine. She says, I've got my first trip away from Zena, as in like by myself with my girlfriends. And
nice.
I'm not freaking out, but I am low-key 100%. It'll be the first time I spent 7 days away from her.
Okay.
So okay, so I'm like, I'll be fine. We'll schedule stuff and things to be fine. So that's me, as I say, scheduling. That's the answer. Okay. Do you feel the industry has become more flexible or supportive of mothers in recent years?
I think so. I mean, there's definitely changes happening. You only have to look at the job shares that are existing now in theatre, in some particular shows. Even how much the company, Nick Grace, who is the producer for the Mamma Mia International Tour, just how welcoming they've been.
Yeah.
There's definitely room for improvement.
Of course,
because I think it's like there's the industry as a whole, and then there's certain companies, and I'm kind of talking about certain companies that are welcoming and helpful, and then you've got other companies that flat out no.
Yeah.
So the industry as a whole could definitely be improved, and I have actually had a meeting with Equity to help them create some guidelines for mothers who do want to return to work very early. So because they feel a bit like they haven't got, they've got kind of guidelines for parents returning to work when their child is maybe like 2, but they were like, we've got a bit of a gap, perhaps with people who do want to return earlier. So I've had a chat with them, and
really
so
cool.
They're hoping to put some guidelines together, of which I'm hoping to help them. So
amazing.
So there's definitely there's changes are afoot.
Yeah.
And there was a big job share meeting that happened a few months ago. And I've noticed since that meeting that there has been more job shares advertised.
Amazing.
So that's very much kind of theatre.
Yeah.
I did do a screen job a couple of weeks actually after giving birth. And they were really like, just straight away like, do you need some pumping time? And they put it into the schedule. And so I think I think there is.
Amazing.
We're definitely on the road.
Yeah, I say so too. I'm thinking of my first jobs when I was back. I think I had like a voiceover thing when Zena was about, I want to say 8 weeks or so. But again, it was an hour, nothing long. And I love voiceover stuff. So much fun. So it's always like play. It's all play. But so it's super quick. But that was grand. But then anything else after that, production always, again, checked in. What do you need? How can we help? Yeah. Amazing. She came to all the fittings, or she'd come on set.
Oh, fantastic.
She'd been with my partner, or if I needed someone else to be there. That was all done and dealt with. So I always knew that baby was always going to be with me with work. However I needed to make that work, I would do it. It's just been a wonderful extension, I guess, where production has been able to get involved as well and be super helpful. And I'm glad that I went into it expecting nothing less, if that makes sense. And anything else has been a wonderful bonus, basically. Correct. So, it feels like it's on the road of things. Great. So I guess let it continue. Long may it continue. And more of it, you know. I guess to ask, what's been one of your most joyful moments in your career since becoming a mum?
I think it has to be. Yeah. It has to be just having Marlowe side of stage, of course. You know, the feeling of seeing him in the finale out there.
That must be such a buzz.
Honestly. And I've had him a few times where he's, Phil's just been in the building and they've appeared in the wing and he's just like, just his response to the music. And seeing that is just incredible. Oh, wow. I think that's probably, the finale of Mamma Mia is joyful anyway. And it was always kind of one of my favourite parts of the show because you can just see the impact that you're making. The feedback loop is just incredible. And to then have that with my child. Another joyful moment actually with touring was when we dressed him up as Santa. And he was the secret Santa and we didn't tell anybody. We got we had a bit of a nightmare trying to get a Santa outfit for him. But we put him in this like trolley. And everybody was waiting for who Secret Santa was going to be. And then me and Phil dressed as reindeers, just pulling him on. And he's just there like waving. Love it. Incredible. Those little moments, I think, are exactly what she meant when she said that having a baby brings a new dynamic. Is stuff like that that people just love.
That's gorgeous. And I guess on the flip side, what's a moment where you had to dig deep or rethink things completely?
I think it was probably when I was going through
that break time.
Yeah, the anxiety, and also just not really understanding what was going on. But I think it just all those hormones that
are doing their thing recently.
Yeah.
And
I think you see all those Instagram posts that it takes like 2 years or something.
Yeah. Is it 2 years even to get back to feeling like yourself, but 5 years for your hormones and everything to sort of fully regulate?
Yeah.
I think that's correct. I'll have to fact check that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah. It is a wild ride.
It is. It really is. And so I think those moments have been the hardest. Just when I have felt too anxious to go to work, to go on stage, I never didn't.
Yeah.
That's terrible English. I never didn't.
But I'll take it. Yeah.
So as in I always pushed through, which maybe wasn't the right thing to do. Maybe I could have stepped back sooner and been like, actually, I need some time off. All right, it ended up being that it was taken out of my hands. And I think as well, I fought it. I was like, I don't want to go home.
Okay.
So, yeah, I suppose something that I have to learn from this experience is A, to ask for help, and B, like to know when you need to take a break.
Okay.
Like that doesn't mean that I'm not strong.
That's true.
Like there is a strength in stepping back to come back stronger.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes I associate the pushing through with, that's real strength.
Yeah,
but it's not.
I hear you. I completely understand that. Yeah, I'm the same. I have to remember to ask for help.
Yeah. When
people say, "What do you need?" It's not. Yes, you can do it, but guess what? Somebody wants to take that off your plate, and that will allow you to have a minute or do something else. So I have to constantly remind myself of that for sure. Looking forward, is there a dream role, stage or screen, that still calls to you?
Oh yeah. It's something I really want to play.
Go on then.
I want to play like a lead detective in a crime drama.
Amazing. And she said it here first. So when it happens, she said it here on Milk and Mummies. Love it.
I really want to do.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Really amazing. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. There's a few musical theatre roles that I'm very much like, I still would like to play those and do those, but
all right. Lead detective. All right.
Lead detective. Done. Yeah, that's it.
Done. How do you see this next chapter of your career, motherhood, life unfolding? What does that look like?
I just think it's going to be a big juggle. It's just going to be the juggle. I think I can imagine it's going to be full of highs and lows and joyous moments and sobbing on the floor, all of the above. But I think suddenly I've got my little mate that's there with me now, and it. I think if I think about life before him, I've kind of touched on this already, but I associated like being out of work with being a failure.
Okay.
And I needed to be working. I needed to be doing something. And I think it's like I don't have a choice. I'm going to be doing something every day.
Yeah.
And so I feel like life has got a lot more. I say it like I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I feel like life has just got more 3D.
Okay.
Suddenly it's just expanded.
I hear that.
And there's this whole other world that has always existed of soft plays and play cafes and zoos and things that, I've never even known about. And it's like this door is open to this magical world of rhyme time.
Yeah.
you know, and that's kind of, and it's like, that has to be enough. Like, I don't need the lead detective in a crime drama. I'd really like it.
It'd be fun, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I feel like I want, like, the joy is in those simple moments.
Yeah.
In those simple moments where Marlo is running around the garden in a nappy, like, getting so excited about the fact that there's a bird in the sky.
Yeah.
And those are the really joyful moments. Yeah. And we think that the joyful moments are going to be, like, when you book that thing. And it never is. The phone call is the best bit.
Nice, I like that.
It's, I think, I can't remember who said that, but it's just like, you get the phone call and it's downhill from there. But it is that, it's like, we think that, you know, to book the gig, to be at that awards ceremony, and is going to be the best thing ever. But it's who, in my head now, I'm like, it wouldn't be the winning of an award. It would be going back home and tucking Marlo up in bed, and which sounds like such bullshit, but it's so also true. So true.
Like, I think it's just the joy. I think it's the joy that they bring and the wonder that they bring and the, I don't know, the openness to more and to play. And that's the constant state. Like, that is, I think that's what it is. It's just so much more fun. It's just so much more. And I really like that 3D aspect of what you just said. I think that's just what it is. And
we can now start seeing the world through their eyes. Suddenly, like, something that is so menial and like a plant that I've just noticed.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Marlo would be like obsessed with that. And suddenly you're like, of course, because it's really cool. And you start to just see the world if you allow yourself to, I think, because, you know, I'm not going to lie, there'll be times when I want to sit on my phone and I have to constantly be like, no, put that down and you know, be with him.
Yeah.
And so I think what I want life to be is for me to enjoy those simple moments, and because there will be times where I will be away for a week and, you know,
unable to, or just other areas of life are requiring your full attention or what have you. Yeah, it's true. Completely understand. All right, quick fire round.
Oh gosh, okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Pre-show ritual.
It's what?
Pre-show ritual. First of all, Rachel, speak English, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pre-show ritual.
What?
I know, I was like, I mumbled that, but that was fine. It wasn't. Pre-show ritual.
I don't really have one. Okay. I'm that person that is ready so late.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I hate waiting in the wings.
Go.
Yeah, I did think, well, so with Mamma Mia, my pre-show ritual was basically that I had a wee, I cleaned my teeth, and then I got my costume on.
Okay.
That was kind of it. Okay. There was, as exciting as it got.
Favourite Donna moment in Mamma Mia?
Oh, I mean, slipping through my fingers was, takes on a whole new meaning now, and there was some moments where some days that would be so much more emotional than others, but loved that moment.
Nap or night out?
Oh, nap.
Done. Silly question. One thing every new mum in theatre should hear.
That you can do both. That you can do both, because for so long I believed that it was one or the other. But you can. It takes work and you need help. Because unfortunately you do need maybe you can take the baby on stage. Maybe that's, you know, there could be a show for that, but the likelihood is you can't take the baby on stage, so you do need help. You can't, but it is possible.
Okay, all right, cool. Thank you, Steph. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, you're so welcome.
No, thank you so much for sharing this. And like I said, I know there are so many people who are already like super excited to hear it, but I love that you've been able to show that being a mum and being a lady don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can do it. Yes, there is help needed to get this all done. But I think your story is just super important to know that you can do it. You know. But yeah. So with all the laughter and the humor and the challenges, like this has been such a gift. So thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
No problemo. People can find you on social media as That's Steph Parry.
Yeah.
Got it. And I guess we'll stay tuned, right?
Yeah.
See you on our
See
screen,
what's
see you on
next.
stage.
Oh, yeah, when I'm playing that lead detective role.
Boom, that's it. Thank you so much.